Hello there, welcome back to Tunis and the Sons of Carthage. We're currently in a very bad position, in theory. Spain has their entire army on the African continent, which is hilarious, all things considered, but if we're lucky, we might actually be able to get out of this with, at worst, a white peace, and at best, some more provinces for, well, ourselves, which would be hilarious. The only thing that we really need here, I think, to make a good peace deal is to re-siege Naples. We might have to give up one of the Granada's provinces, but other than that, again, I think we look to be pretty strong here. The goal, of course, will be to bring the Spanish forces back home, and I think they'll actually be kind enough here to also eradicate the rebels, which of course will be rather useful. Now, I'm a little bit unsure, but it seems due to the low amount of people that Spain are actually reinforcing right now, that they might be out of manpower. No, they have 17,000 manpower left, but they are getting close to being out of manpower, and that is of course useful for us. Now, here's something that it's not useful for us. These Sicilian patriots, they are basically being annoying, and when I say they're being annoying, I don't mean they're just being a little bit annoying. I mean they're being really annoying. So we're going to take back Calabria now rather rapidly, and then we'll work from there. But again, if I'm lucky enough to have Spain doing my rebel cleaning for me, which of course saves my manpower, which is really useful. So last time, as I said, what it basically did was we moved our forces into the Spanish-Italian provinces after we pieced out Venice by conceding defeat, which is basically what we probably will end up having to do here with Spain too. Currently, they would actually accept me just conceding defeat, which is interesting to note, because that means that we are actually surprisingly enough, we're going in a positive manner. Spain is actually accruing some war exhaustion here from basically being in my lands. They are going to suffer from a drawn-out war here, far more than I do, and if they don't actually have any forces to help them out, for instance Milan cleaning up, I am pretty sure that we can most likely have some rebels in these provinces potentially. It's not actually that probable, but I'm going to keep this going for a little while longer, just under the premise that it might happen. And I'm also tempted to just allow the Sicilian patriots to have what they currently have sieged. As you can see, Spain is already on the side of wanting a white peace in this, so I don't see any good reason to stop just yet. We're going to keep it going a little bit longer, just to try and get them in an even worse position than they currently are. Best case scenario, they'll give a province back or two, but again, that is kind of a wishing scenario, so to speak. What we will be doing before we end the war, however, is destroy whatever remnants that is left of the Spanish Navy. But as you can see, we're actually going very closely to positive war score as things are currently going. And with that, I don't think I'm going to bother actually allowing Spain to go home. What I'm actually tempted to do here is just overexert my navy extremely, and most likely try and re-siege some of my provinces and just allow Spain to run out on manpower here, because that is what is actually going to happen if this keeps on going. They're down to 4,945 men. If I start sieging the Spanish provinces now too, they're going to be harmed even more. So we're going to take a chance. We're going to actually start transporting my army into Spain, and we're actually going to start sieging Spain itself, which of course in turn will hopefully turn into we having a very strong presence there. But it's of course going to be difficult, kind of risky, this tactic. We have loans, or one loan that is due, but let's face it, if I can siege Spanish provinces and start beating them back by both economically but also hurt their manpower this way, then everything is looking better than the current scenario. Of course, war exhaustion is going to be a pain in the butt sooner rather than later, but for the time being, it is something that I have more than enough points saved up for in diplomatic power to actually counter. So I think we're actually going to try and beat Spain here. They're actually an army here that is just standing there just to not accrue any war exhaustion. And with the size of their armies, they're going to accrue war exhaustion basically by being even close to my armies, or lands, which is one of the benefits that we have. And as you can see, they're not actually sending any troops to counter this. They don't have the troops necessary to counter this, and that is of course beneficial. Usually I would take the admin points, but in this case I think we need the money more. So we're definitely going to just try and siege Spain once and for all. If I'm lucky, we'll have the French intervene afterwards. But let's face it, what's going to beat the Spanish here is probably just us waiting it out, more or less so than anything else, which is of course beneficial if it if it goes as we want it to. But I'll send the rest of troops. I'll keep on setting up sieges, and hopefully here we'll have a victory by the end of this. Unfortunately, here we did have the death of our king, which is kind of bad. Like news is stability drop. 432 is the heir. 031 is the current king. Horrible one at that, but at least we get the national unrest modifier, which is actually kind of important at the current stage. We'll also boost our stability a little bit. As you can see, Spain is actually currently minus 30 in terms of points, but I can't actually force them to hand over anything due to the fact that we need at least 10% war score to start making demands. Funnily enough though, they are out of manpower, which means that any outdrawn war in the area, or basically us sieging them, should in turn sap their manpower completely. So we're working our way towards Madrid here, and hopefully we'll make a proper or a beneficial peace rather soon. Again, the war exhaustion that I am accruing is something that I can combat due to my, well, saved up storage, if you will, of said thing. So hopefully here I can again just get completely in control with everything that is, well, everything that can siege, and hopefully here it will again work to my advantage. So I'll just keep setting up these siege squads, and we'll see if we get what I'm after. Hopefully we will, but it might not. The goal, of course, is to, well, more or less win the war with sieges, or war on sieges, call it whatever you want. We are losing a lot of sieges back home though, but that's usually just due to these doom stacks running around being silly. So I'll keep on what I'm currently doing, and hopefully here we'll have a good result reported very soon. We'll see how it actually ends up here. The funny part here also is that even though Spain is actually sieging my provinces right now, it doesn't actually benefit them in any way. And the reason for that is actually very, very simple here. Let me just put it this way. My provinces are worth so little in comparison to the well, our enemies' territories, so it's kind of ridiculous. And the reason why I don't get a pop about these nationalists is because they're actually Spain's problem, at least right now, due to the fact they are liberation armies. They're actually helping me here, and they're helping me in a tremendous way. Let's just be perfectly honest here. Those liberation armies are actually sapping the Castilian or Spanish manpower even more right now. They are running out of manpower, they are running high on war exhaustion. We are basically being dicks to them. Spanish power is now down to 41,000. They had 10,000 more men the last time we checked. And also, as you can see, their manpower pool has also been reduced a little bit. This could just be due to the fact that we are, well, taking their provinces, which it probably is. Their manpower, well, regeneration is currently very low. And if I'm really lucky here, the hilarious, well, fact is that this war could, if their manpower is sapped enough, lead to Spain having to give up their colonial nation, which would be hilarious, because that means there will be a real power in the New World which can stop them from basically colonizing in a good way, which of course will be beneficial to us again. But for the time being, we'll focus on completely sieging Madrid here. As you can see, occupation wise we're kind of cancelling each other out, but my what I occupy is worth more than what they're currently occupying, and that is of course really, really good. So in this case we'll clear the offer, we'll check what costs the last war score, and I'll be taking Sardinia back, of course, it's mine. I'm also tempted to take one province in the Murcia, for instance. Yeah, we'll take Murcia for myself, because, well, who's to stop me? We'll force Alicante and Valencia back to Aragon, if I can. Alicante, Valencia. Barcelona is probably a little bit of a stretch here, but if I can get Aragon too. Aragon to Aragon. And as you can see, we're going to need a little bit more to actually make that happen, but if we siege their entire country, it should be possible for us then to basically go back home and destroy these smaller, potentially really weakened armies. I can definitely see that happening. So if I'm really lucky here, we will be able to go home victors. That is the goal here. So for the time being, we'll allow my sieges to continue, and hopefully this will be over rather soon. We'll see how it goes. There we go. As you can see, these terms will actually be agreed to now by Spain, which is hilarious. But I think I'll not be taking Aragon again, because of the simple fact that it will most likely end in horror. We're going to, of course, give Granada back to Granada instead. And if I can, we'll be taking Cadiz too. So basically, we are securing ourselves a little bit of power on the Spanish coastline. I'm also pretty sure that they do not have the navy required right now to be able to move against the Sicilian patriots. So that is also perfectly fine to leave alone, which we are actually going to do. We are going to have to be dealing with these rebels on our own, however, which is kind of harsh, all things considered. But again, I think we have definitely made an upset here. It's more than you could actually hope for, at least at the beginning of this war. It's far more than we can hope for in terms of just that. And I'm going to actually take these two provinces and keep them myself. I think that is going to be what I'll keep Murcia for myself. I'll sell the other one. I just needed to fabricate some claims in the future to make sure that actually, well, I'm capable of fabricating claims. And of course, this will make it easier to handle potential rebels from the unrest that this move is currently going to create. So Murcia will be caught by myself. Aragon is starting to get a little bit of power back again, and right now the Spanish armies are going to most likely have to march through well, fire and hell to get back again. And as you can see here, the Sicilian provinces are still in revolt here. Of course, finding back the rebels on my side now is going to be the main problem. Moroccan nationalists are actually quite close to, well, rising up, and I think they will not, yeah, as you can see, they have no unrest anymore. So what we need to do now is get our troops back home so that we can fight the rebel insertion, if you will. And of course it's going to be a little bit difficult, but it's just what it is. If I can get Fez back and up and running at a reasonable pace again, that won't be a problem. We'll keep on rebuilding our navy. It will still be important, even though these provinces now they are kind of a problem at the current stage. I would actually be tempted to just go for a straight up war again against Spain, but I think I'll not do that. I would be surprised, however, if the French do not take this golden opportunity we've handed them on a silver platter to destroy, well, Spain once and for all. I would be really, really surprised if they didn't actually attack them right now. The rivals, Spain is incredibly weak, as we have already stated here. Spain is there. We are stronger than them right now in terms of military and everything. We actually are really close to force number 2. Basically, I think we have actually turned this game around right now. I can focus now on taking southern Spain more so than anything else. I think I'll also be focusing on, again, actually integrating Fez, because of the simple fact that integrating Fez will give me a lot more naval prowess, and I think that is more important right now than, well, anything else in that regard. Unfortunately, the Ottomans do want to destroy me now due to the fact that we do share a border, so I definitely need to get some stronger military up and running. I think we should probably also consider, if you want to take out the Mamluks, Cairo is a pretty high base tax province, and thus it could actually come into good use. But I think for the time being, I'll leave. Oh, rebels. How neat. Well, doesn't actually matter, to be honest. That is the hilarity of the situation. The fact that they declared freedom from, well, from Fez, one province, doesn't actually pose me any problems at all. It's something that I can easily fix. Now, tech-wise, we'll probably just take everything here. We'll go one up in diplomacy tech to level 12, the Wharf. Gives me the opportunity to build naval equipment manufactories and trade company, and we'll also do admin tech here, workshop and courthouse, which allows me to build both of those level 8 admin tech. Now, as you can see, we still have some provincial unrest in Murcia, but that is to be expected, all things considered. So again, for the time being, we'll just leave things as they are. We've done, I think, very well to come back and win that war, but it really relied on getting Venice out of that so I can actually start moving my folks around. But we're going to leave it here. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. Bye.